Welcome to the Daily. Today we're going to talk about how to create a singing practice that fits into your life. If you're anything like me, someone who has 2 kids, a partner, having to maintain a home, maintain 2 businesses, and everything else in between performing, then this is for you. You want to make sure that you are creating a practice daily that really fits into your life. And the first thing I'm going to say is put it on your calendar. Everything that I do in my life, from meetings to lessons to grocery shopping, goes on my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it is probably not going to get done. And everybody in my life knows that. So if you tell me something and I don't write it down, you'll be sure that I probably won't remember it later. So write it down, put it in your calendar, because it's really important for us to see that, and getting those notifications really do help. So what does a practice look like for me on a daily? Now, depending on what's happening, if I'm preparing for a performance, then yes, my practice sessions will probably be a little bit longer, maybe an hour. But on the daily, we're looking at 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, because like I said, I'm very busy, and so are you. So setting aside that time, 10, 15 minutes, perfect. Put that on the calendar. And what do you do in that 10 to 15 minutes? Very quickly, you're going to body activation. Get your body nice and warmed up. Maybe that's you do a little jog in place, get the blood flowing, do some stretches from the bottom all the way up, right? Make sure you're breathing diaphragmatic breath. And then you're going to move into really just loosening up those muscles. So doing some nice massages in the head and around the neck, relaxing the larynx and the tongue. And from there, that's when we want to activate the throat, activate our vocal box, right? Humming is a great way to do this. Lip trills, simultaneously really activating the lips and getting those nice and pliable. After we've done that, then we kind of move into our technique. And technique can be a lot of things, but depending on if you're working on a song piece, then you might cater it to that. So if you have one that's very technically demanding and there's many long runs, perhaps you're going to be working more on articulating and diction of runs, right? So we're working on 8th and 16th note runs. We're doing our scales, arpeggios, or maybe we're going to do a combination of breath support exercises. It's really up to you. So you're going to start to learn what are the appropriate exercises for me that's going to support me in the song piece that I'll be working on. So that leads into the song piece. Now, if you're not performing and you don't have anything that you need to really work on, but maybe you're doing lessons and you have a song or two that you're currently working on, choose the piece that needs the most work. It's always tempting to go to the piece that I'm like, I feel really good about this and I sound really good. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe that's going to be your run through. Maybe that's your warm-up piece. Pick that piece that feels good to you, open up your voice, and then let's take a look at that piece that needs a little bit of work. So depending on where you are in the process, if you're in the beginning process, how will you approach that song? Maybe you're at this point, you're just really putting in your breath marks. Where am I going to breathe in this song? And then you're going to go through and you're going to start working on the diction, and you're going to say it in rhythm, making sure that it's nice and consistent. You're focusing on those plosives, opening up those vowels, right? All of the things. And then I like to have all of my students, and for myself, choosing a consonant vowel combination to go through it the first time I'm actually going to sing through it. And I do it just in little sections, right? We're not trying to do the whole thing. We're trying to learn phrase by phrase or verse by verse. And then once I've gone through that, probably not in the same session, but once I've done that, I'm going to bring the words together, right? Once I've compiled all together, I feel really confident in the song, and then I can start performing it. But when we're practicing, we're just going to take bit by bit by bit. I like to do 4, 8 measures at a time, and sometimes that's all I'm going to do in a practice until I feel really, really comfortable with that. Now, here's one important piece of advice that I give all of my students. Record, 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 and then listen. So if you're not recording your practice sessions, today is the day you're going to start, because recording yourself, yes, It's a little scary, and I still get I feel a little something when I listen to myself on a recording, but it's informative. This is feedback for us so we can hear ourselves and understand what's happening with my voice. Oh, I didn't breathe here. Oh my goodness, I'm not hearing my plosives. So this is an opportunity for us to learn and make those corrections. So record, then listen. And then finally, just be consistent. Put it on your calendar. Make sure that you have a plan for your next day. So that way you're always one step ahead of the game and you're not going into your practice session thinking, what am I going to do today? Okay, so there you go. There are some tips for you to create the most amazing practice session for yourself on a daily basis, and then it will grow with you. And remember, you don't have to do an hour a day. It could be 10, 15 minutes. Maybe you build up to 30 minutes, so on and so forth. But also, don't overdo it, because there is such a thing as overdoing it when you're singing. So that was our daily today. I'll see you tomorrow.